Up next is my favorite boss I've ever had, Luis.
Good morning, or buenos dias if you really know me. Let's see. So my name is Luis, Vice President of Operations at Q-PAC. I've been with the company for about 8 years now. But right after college, I worked for a very small company in the aerospace industry. When I say very small, I mean the owner of the company and myself. It was just the two of us. And I joined Q-PAC in 2017. And I've been here since then doing many great things. As an engineer, I would like to talk today about total efficiency. When I think of efficiency, the first thing that comes to mind is usually energy consumption, FEI, all those metrics that we talk on a daily basis. However, when I think about the entire life cycle of Q-PAC, I like to add resiliency and speed because it matters a lot in our process. Little the team knew when I was hired that I was probably going to be one of the most impatient people in the team. And I was tasked with manually designing every single fan array, day after day, click after click, just like many others did at the beginning of Q-PAC. We don't do it anymore. It's great. So I was faced with a decision, which was either continue to go slow and do the same thing every day, or try to automate it and move on to bigger and better things. This is where the programmers were born. Both Austin and Eric already talked about it. And this is basically where you combine an engineer and a programmer into one single person. And all of the hardware and software design that you're doing, you automate. Instead of having to do it by hand, you just automate it all so that you can do something else. One of the reasons all three of us talked about it is because the programmers are involved in every single tool and process that we're building in Q-PAC, not just for product development. Because of being impatient and because of really liking one of our core values, which is being relentless, slowly I was pushed into leading the operations daily here at Q-PAC. What was the result? Well, where you put a bunch of engineers and programmers and you start developing tools. The first tool that we created was Quips, which is our selection tool that allows customers to select our product and configure it every day. You can also purchase it through Quips. But we didn't really stop there. We took the same methodologies to our inventory management, to production, to make our lead times a lot shorter. Most of you don't know this, but behind the scenes, behind Quips, we have something that is called a manufacturing engine. And that tool creates all of the bill of materials, the list of components, the routings for production. And we can get an order from when it's submitted in Quips to production in about 10 to 15 minutes. The fastest fan that we've ever built was done in 3 hours, thanks to the team that we have out here and the work that the programmers did. Why is this important? Well, I spoke about resiliency and speed. I hate wasting time, and our engineers need to focus on what's really important, which is to keep developing the fan of the future. For the product and our people, well, we get to faster develop our product and all of the processes that we have internally. For customer success, a promise that we can keep because all of the data that you see in our selection tool was already automated and it's accurate. And for marketing and growth, well, you already know, we don't sell tomatoes, like Brandon said. We can tell real stories. But what about the future? All those tools that we implemented were mostly for like internal tools to make ourselves faster. The next step is to focus on everything upstream of that so that we can help you also be faster with our tools and our product without making you dependent on having to contact a Q-PAC employee. If you could go all the way from selecting a fan, purchasing it, installing it, and then supporting it with having to contact somebody at Q-PAC, that would be amazing. And maybe, even faster lead times. The goal of my team is to make the complex simple and the simple fast. So if you have any ideas about how we could help you in the process of purchasing a Q-PAC product, a fan, please let me know and we'll try to get you there.